Hello everyone and welcome to Sunday. Today we are doing my April TBR. And I know, it's a bit late. I filmed it, I didn't like it. I filmed it again, I didn't like it again. And now I'm going to film it again and I'm not gonna look at it, I'm just gonna edit it. I'm just gonna put my intro, my outro, pictures, and that's it. I'm not gonna do it again. That's it. But let's just go into this. I have 13 books in my TBR, which 2 I have already finished, and I'm about to finish my third one today, I hope. Wish me luck. But let's just go into this. So the first that I have is a buddy read, which is with someone on Discord in the DMs, and we are reading Beyond the Black Door by A.M. Strickland, and I'm so excited to finally read this book. I have known for it for a while. When I came out as asexual, I was in contact with Pucks and Paperback, so with Alex, on Twitter, and he had just received the book as an e-arc, and he recommended the book to me, and I was like, I need this book, but I've never managed to actually get it until now. I've been wanting to read this book ever since, and now I can finally read it. It's own voices with an asexual representation. It's about a young girl who is able to go into the souls of others, like I think when they sleep or something along the lines, and she got that power from her mother. And every time she goes in someone's soul, she sees a black door. And her mother always tells her, do not go into the black door. She ends up going into the black door. I mean, it's in the title, right? That's not a spoiler, it's in the title. Yeah, she does find herself and everything. I'm super excited to finally read that book. Then we have 3 group books. 3. One is in the Twitter DMs, is with Cats Can Read, and some others which I'm going to mention down below. Like everyone's notes for those that have booktube or something, I'm gonna put down below into the description. And with that group we are reading The Knife of Never Letting Go by Ness, which I have already finished, and it's more of a science fiction dystopian world, where you hear the thoughts of others. It can be really crowded, like I would not want to be in that world. And it follows this one town where this one boy, his name I forgot, he's the youngest boy and he's about to become a man. Based on their age, they go into becoming a man at a certain time, and something happens, he finds something out, and then he's on the run. And he has always thought that women were killed and that there was a virus that made men hear the thoughts of each other's. And he thought that this virus killed every female in the world. Yeah, that's all I can say, but it basically starts with him hearing his dog talking about peeing. Take it with a grain of salt. This was actually a good book. I gave it 3.5 stars. So that's one of the books I've already finished. And that's all I can say about that book. Then the next group read is by Read Like a Kit Kat, which this book I haven't started yet. But I'm gonna again put all the information in the description down below. And this is The Bone Season by Samantha Shannon, and all I know about it is that it's part of a series and it's the first. That's all I know, and I like to go into books not knowing much. So yeah, I'm gonna stick with that. Then the next group book is a Discord group book, and it's by a book club, which is in a Discord that I'm in for LGBTQIA+ writers. Also, can put the link in the description down below if you're interested. And they picked a book for this month, which is They Both Die at the End by Adam Silvera, which has a gay representation. And it's basically as far as I understand, there's an app which tells the people when they're going to die. So on the day of their so the day they're going to die, they find out you're going to die today, and then there's this option to find someone that's also going to die in that day. So there are two characters that found out they're going to die on the day, and they find each other and come closer. And yeah, I think the title says it all. They both die at the end. I heard a lot of sad things about this book. Then next book I have is a Netgalley book, which this is Incursion by Mitchell Hope, and it's a fantasy. It's quite high fantasy for me. Like, I have already started this book. I'm not quite halfway through the book. I'm like 40% through the book, and it's with necromancy. And there's a necromancy queen. Basically, there's an island, and then there's the mainland. And on the island lived a necromancy queen and all her people. Forgot the name of like what the race is called, but the people from the mainland decided to come in and take over the island, and the necromancy queen dies. And they find out that the necromancer queen actually has a daughter, and they're trying to find the baby daughter. And yeah, that's all I can tell. There is sapphic representation, as the necromancer queen is in a relation. I don't know if it's like an actual relationship or if it's just a sexual relationship with the head of her army. I hope I can say it like that. I hope. But that's how I understand it. And then it follows this young boy who wants to become part of the mainland army, the Order of Eternal Vigilance, and he is in the trials, and he's trying to become part of the order. And he lived in the order ever since he can remember. He was brought up there because he's told his parents have died in the whole uprising, the whole fight against mainlanders and the people from the island. So yeah, that's a long description. Let's just go to the next one. Next I have my My TBR game, which I have already done. Like, I filmed this several times, so I kind of already did this. But I'm gonna put a picture of every dice that I had next here, and then I can put a picture of the book as well, because all the books I'm reading this month are either audiobook or ebook. So yeah, I hope I can do this. But the first dice that I picked was the heart dice, which just has a picture of a heart. And I decided to go with Loveless by Oseman, which is arrow ace representation. It's about, as far as I understand, about a student in university who comes to terms with her sexuality, and it kind of fits the heart because it's love cannot just be, it doesn't have to be romantic, it can also be friend love, a friendship love, family love, etc. So I kind of thought, let's just go with that. Then next we have the DNA helix, I think it's helix, I don't know. But I decided to go with Never Date Your Brother's Best Friend by Jules Barnard, which is a Kindle ebook, which was free. And I'm kind of really interested to see what it's like. And as I think the title says a lot, she falls in love with her brother's best friend and tries not to date him because he's the brother's best friend. And then next we have a person in as well, and the way I chose this one this time is that I went by cover, and on the cover there's a girl covered, surrounded by fire, so that kind of worked. And it's Power of Fire by Jade Alters, which is also a Kindle ebook, which is free. And I'm really interested to see what this one's about. It also has this academic feel because I do think that there's an academy in there, and something about her parents dying, her family dying, and her being able to control fire or able to use fire, manipulate fire, something along the lines. I hope I can be able to say more about it when I'm done reading the book. As soon as I get to the book. But yeah, that's how much I understood of that book. Then next we have The Rats, which this is a book that doesn't really, like, in the first thought, it doesn't really fit into the Rats dice. But hear me out. The book I chose for this is Dark and Deepest Red by Maureen McLemore, and there is this sickness going around where people start dancing a lot, and then they aren't able to stop dancing until they die. For me, liking to go into books not knowing much, I know a lot about these books. Researched them a lot for this video. But basically they dance so much that they end up dying, and then a couple of years later someone finds shoes and puts them on and then ends up dancing. So that's as far as I know, and I'm really interested to see what goes in there. And I decided to go with the rat because the rat is an animal that oftentimes is embedded in the thoughts and prejudices with sicknesses. So a lot of people think, oh my god, there's a rat, it's definitely going to give me disease. Like medieval times, most sicknesses have been come over from from rats and bad hygiene. So I've kind of thought that kind of fits, like, prejudice wise. And then next, this book is going to be a bit controversial. I'm going to put a disclaimer as well. So the next is the Red Riding Hood dice, and I decided to go with Cress by Marissa Meyer. Disclaimer, I picked this book before everything, and I have started the series already, and I don't want to support authors that use a country, that use a language, etc., and then don't support the people, like in this incident. So I do not want to support authors that do this, but I started this series and I do own the ebooks mostly, and I like the series, so I kind of find it hard for me to just pause and not read them anymore. So I'm going to finish the series, but I'm most likely not gonna get any more of her books and just read what I have already from her. So, I mean, I only bought them, so she's not gonna get any of my money. Then, next, the dice I have is the cat, which is actually the last one. And I decided to go with Truly Devious by Maureen Johnson. Also one that might not work from at the first, but basically it's the black cat, and the black cat is often very mysterious. If you like, a lot of people are scared by them, and Truly Devious is, I didn't even talk about Cress, well, is the third in the Lunar Chronicles. I can't really say much about it without spoiling the first two. But Truly Devious is a mystery about this academy being made, and then shortly after the academy is opened up, the wife and the daughter of the founder are kidnapped, taken away, and then there's this message saying something with Truly Devious at the end, and then it follows years later. This girl joins the academy, or joins the like school that is actually for like people with mysterious flair. They kind of like the mystery, and she tries to find out what happened, and then a similar incident happens when she joins the school. So yeah, that's Truly Devious by Maureen Johnson in as little words as I can tell. I've told way less words, but okay. Next we have my March Unfinished book, or March Unfinished books, depending on how much I start the month before. I did have Incursion, which I started previously, but I already have it as my Netgalley book, so I don't really have to put it in as March Unfinished as well. But for March Unfinished, I have A Quarter of Mist and Fury by Sarah J. Maas, which I have finished like second day of April. So yay. And can't say much about that because it's the second in the Court of Thorns and Roses series, so look that up if you haven't done so yet. And then the last one is a book that I have to read for university, and that is Frankenstein by Mary Shelley, which I am halfway through. Yay! It's about this doctor who decides to create a monster, and then because the monster feels because he feels alone, everyone's afraid of him, etc., he wreaks havoc. Let's just go with that. That's the best way I can explain Frankenstein. But I'm excited to read it, and I have to read it for university, so I'm about to finish it as well. Like, I might actually be able to finish it today. Yeah. Well, yeah. That's my TBR. I hope you like this. If you did so, give it a thumbs up and subscribe down below if you haven't done so yet. Comment down below what your books are for April. Comment down below a link to your video of your TBR. Whatever. Have you read any of these books? Did you like any of these books? Any comments? I like comments. Unless they're evil comments. Those are going to be destroyed. But yeah. If you liked it, keep on reading. Oh yeah. Big thank you to Alex the Pugs and Paperback for the new intro and the new outro. Love it. And the new title, I don't know what it's called. The picture, when you go on my channel, it has a new picture on the top. I just need a new profile picture, but I'm loving it. Thank you. Go check out Alex and support him. Watch his videos, comment his videos as well, please. Hope you like this. Keep on reading, and see you next time. Bye!